All right, you guys, who's ready to turn in our first cartoon yourself? Because by the end of class today, hopefully you are done with the first one and ready to, I shouldn't say turn it in, but put it into your art journal. Now, we're not turning anything into Buzz yet because it's not due yet because we still have to make 2 more, right? And in fact, for our next class, if you look at step 3, it says like start planning, start thinking of and brainstorming and dreaming. What do you want that second picture to look like? And while you're at it, why not start thinking about the third one too? And if you're out of ideas, if you're like, I just don't really know what else to do, I often like to think about like, well, who has a birthday coming up, or who do I want to give a thank you to, or something like that, because art makes the best gifts. It comes from the heart. So if you're at kind of a little bit of a roadblock and you're not really sure what to do next, I always say, who can you think of that would really enjoy something like this, and you can give it to them as a gift. Anyway, that's for next class. For this class, we want to ideally, before next class begins, we want to be done with our first one. We're going to kind of cruise a little faster from here on out because after the first one, it really goes a lot quicker. We're not learning the instructions. We already kind of have a feel for it. So we are going to complete 2 of them in about the same time as we had completed 1 of them. So it's going to be a little bit quicker, but you guys are going to be fine. In fact, I have a lot of students in projects like this that maybe are having a ton of fun and finding that, as they create more and more, it gets quicker and quicker and quicker because you get more skilled, right? Which is what we're going for. I've had on prior projects that were graphic design ones similar to this, I've had kids turn in up to 12. Not even lying. They were just having fun and kept going with it. So feel free to do the same if you're having fun and you want to keep going. 3 is the minimum to get that full credit, but that doesn't mean you couldn't do more. All right. So how do we get this into our art journal so that eventually we can turn it into Buzz once it's actually due and once we have everything else done? So we're going to screenshot it, right? This is all, it's on our Chromebook or whatever device you're using. So we're going to screenshot it. If you are using one of our Chromebooks, you're going to do Control, Shift, and then what I call the picture box. It's that box with the 2 lines next to it above the number 6. Kind of looks like one of those old school cameras where you would like put your head underneath the hood. So I call it a picture box. Anyway, hit those 3 buttons at once, Control, Shift, and the picture box. It's going to gray your screen out. Once it grays your screen out, you take your mouse and just drag it over the photo. So in Pixlr, you drag it over the photo that you just created. And it's going to ask you to capture. So yes, you want to capture that. And you'll notice it gives a quick little note that says it's been copied to your clipboard. So once you have that photo copied to your clipboard, that is when you will then go on into your art journal, and you're just going to paste that on in there. So here's mine. Control V, right? Velcro, paste it on in. You can see that there's room for 1, 2, 3. If you end up making more, you can either make these a little bit smaller, or you could just put in a new slide, right? If you want to have a lot of room. While we're in here, don't forget, of course, to also record your time. You could also even start answering these questions because we already know all our primary and secondary colors. If you completed your color theory worksheet, you could put that in here too, but we do still have a little bit more information to learn on that before we officially complete it, but some people work ahead. All right, so then we're just going to kind of leave that there. I have had students in the past like, well, why are we putting it in our journal now? Why don't I just wait till the end and put them all in at the same time? In theory, sounds like, why not? That totally works. In reality, I have had students, you guys, technology can be glitchy. I think we all know this, and I like a backup plan. In fact, I like backup plans to my backup plans. So I put it in right away just in case, because those students before, they've had it where they've gone into Pixlr and only the most recent one was in there. The other ones were gone. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if they like switched devices and that's why they didn't see them. I don't know, but they had to start over. And I don't want that to happen to you because it's so frustrating, you guys. So what I would do definitely once you're done, screenshot it right away, get it in your art journal. I would save it too into your Google Drive. And now that you've got it copied to your clipboard, right? You just copied it and pasted it into your art journal. You might as well come on into, let's go to our slide for today. Come on into our Hall of Fame. So if we see down here, it says for next class, you need your Chromebook, and you will have completed pasting into your journal entry 1 and Hall of Fame, which is italicized because you don't have to do this. However, you should, because this is a great way for us to get to share our work with each other, with staff, and in fact, all of the pictures that end up in here, the Hall of Fame, so you just click on that, all of them that end up in here are going to be part of an art show at the end of the year. We're actually going to be creating like a virtual museum, and you'll have your own little gallery. So you just come on in here, and how I explain it is you want to claim a frame by putting in your name. A little poem for you for art class. So if I found a new one, it says first name, last initial, so I would put in Heather S, right? And then put the picture in here, and then that's your frame for this project. Notice that it says it's Project 1 Graphic Art Hall of Fame. So we're going to have a different Hall of Fame for every single project. But yeah, at the end of the year, we will be taking the pictures out of here and adding them into a little gallery to share out with everybody. So anything that you are proud of, any of your work throughout the semester, make sure you are sharing it in the Hall of Fame as well. And like I said, since you've already got it copied to your clipboard, you might as well share it in there now and then add your other ones in later as well. That's about it, guys. So quick reminders, make sure save, make sure copy and paste it into your art journal, make sure that you do the same for the Hall of Fame, make sure you're recording your time, and then start thinking about and maybe even taking pictures for our next class period when we will be starting our second one. See you then, guys.